Proverbs 12, verse by verse in various versions. Whoso loves instruction loves knowledge, but he that hates reproof is brutish. A lover of training is a lover of knowledge, but a hater of teaching is like a beast. Some people like to know things, and they want to know when they are wrong. But fools do not want to know when they are wrong. They hate it when someone tells this to them. The person who loves correction loves knowledge, but anyone who hates a rebuke is stupid. The one who loves discipline loves knowledge, but the one who hates reproof is stupid. Whoever loves correction loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof is stupid. A good man obtains favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. A good man has grace in the eyes of the Lord, but the man of evil designs gets punishment from him. Good people give pleasure to the Lord, but he punishes those who make plans to do bad things. The good person will obtain favor from the Lord, but the man who plots evil will be condemned by him. A good person obtains favor from the Lord, but the Lord condemns a person with wicked schemes. A good man shall obtain favor from Yud-He-Vav-He, but he will condemn a man of wicked plans. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. No man will make himself safe through evil doing, but the root of upright men will never be moved. A man who is bad will never be safe, but good people will never need to be afraid. A person doesn't gain security by wickedness, but the righteous won't be uprooted. No one can be established through wickedness, but a righteous root cannot be moved. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that makes ashamed is as rottenness in his bones. A woman of virtue is a crown to her husband, but she whose behavior is a cause of shame is like a wasting disease in his bones. A good wife gives pleasure to her husband, and she makes him happy, but a bad wife makes her husband ashamed. She causes him to be like a man who has weak bones. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but a wife who puts him to shame is like bone cancer. A noble wife is the crown of her husband, but the wife who acts shamefully is like rottenness in his bones. A worthy woman is the crown of her husband, but a disgraceful wife is as rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The purposes of upright men are right, but the designs of evildoers are deceit. The plans of honest people are fair, but bad people only want you to believe the false things that they say. The plans of the righteous are just, but the advice of the wicked is deceitful. The plans of the righteous are just, the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. The thoughts of the righteous are just, but the advice of the wicked is deceitful. The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The words of sinners are destruction for the upright, but the mouth of upright men is their salvation. The words of very bad people can cause murder, but the words of good people can save lives. The words of the wicked lead to bloodshed, but the speech of the upright delivers them. The words of the wicked lie in wait to shed innocent blood, but the words of the upright will deliver them. The words of the wicked are about lying in wait for blood, but the speech of the upright rescues them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. Evildoers are overturned and never seen again, but the house of upright men will keep its place. After they are overthrown, the wicked won't be found, but the house of the righteous stands firm. The wicked are overthrown and perish, but the righteous household will stand. The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. A man will be praised in the measure of his wisdom, but a wrong-minded man will be looked down on. People speak well about a wise man, but they do not listen to a fool. A man is praised because of his wise words, but the perverted mind will be despised. A person is praised in accordance with his wisdom, but the one who has a twisted mind is despised. A person is commended according to his good sense, but the one who has a perverse mind is despised. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he who has a warped mind shall be despised. He that is despised and has a servant is better than he that honors himself and lacks bread. He who is of low position and has a servant is better than one who has a high opinion of himself and is in need of bread. A man may let people think that he is important, but this same man may not have enough food to eat. It is bad to be a man like that. People may think that another man is not important, but if that man has a servant, it is better to be a man like that. It's better to be unimportant yet have a servant than to pretend to be important but lack food. Better is a person of humble standing who nevertheless has a servant than one who pretends to be somebody important yet has no food. Better is he who is lightly esteemed and has a servant than he who honors himself and lacks bread. A righteous man regards the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. An upright man has thought for the life of his beast, but the hearts of evildoers are cruel. Good people are kind to their animals, but very bad people are always cruel. The righteous person looks out for the welfare of his livestock, but even the compassion of the wicked is cruel. A righteous person cares for the life of his animal, but even the most compassionate acts of the wicked are cruel. A righteous man respects the life of his animal, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He that tills his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that follows vain persons is void of understanding. He who does work on his land will not be short of bread, but he who goes after foolish men is without sense. A farmer who does much work has plenty to eat, but a fool wastes time on dreams. Whoever tills his soil will have a lot to eat, but anyone who pursues fantasies lacks sense. The one who works his field will have plenty of food, but whoever chases daydreams lacks wisdom. He who tills his land shall have plenty of bread, but he who chases fantasies is void of understanding. The wicked desires the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yields fruit. The resting place of the sinner will come to destruction, but the root of upright men is forever. Bad people look for bad things to do, but good people do well in everything that they do. The wicked desires what evil people gain, but the foundation of the righteous is productive. The wicked person desires a stronghold, but the righteous root endures. The wicked desires the plunder of evil men, but the root of the righteous flourishes. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. In the sin of the lips is a net which takes the sinner, but the upright man will come out of trouble. The words of bad men get them into trouble, but a good man will get out of trouble. An evil man's sinful speech ensnares him, but the righteous person escapes from trouble. The evil person is ensnared by the transgression of his speech, but the righteous person escapes out of trouble. An evil man is trapped by sinfulness of lips, but the righteous shall come out of trouble. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. From the fruit of his mouth will a man have good food in full measure, and the work of a man's hands will be rewarded. When you say all things well, you will get many good things, and when you do all things well, people will give you many good things. By his fruitful speech, a man can remain satisfied, and a man's handiwork will reward him. A person will be satisfied with good from the fruit of his words, and the work of his hands will be rendered to him. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth. The work of a man's hands shall be rewarded to him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkens unto counsel is wise. The way of the foolish man seems right to him, but the wise man gives ear to suggestions. The way of a fool seems right to him, but wise people listen to words that help them. The lifestyle of the fool is right in his own opinion, but wise is the man who listens to advice. The way of a fool is right in his own opinion, but the one who listens to advice is wise. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he who is wise listens to counsel. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covers shame. A foolish man lets his trouble be openly seen, but a sharp man keeps shame secret. A fool lets people know when he is angry, but it is not easy to make a wise man angry. The anger of a fool becomes readily apparent, but the prudent person overlooks an insult. A fool's annoyance is known at once, but the prudent overlooks an insult. A fool shows his annoyance the same day, but one who overlooks an insult is prudent. He that speaks truth shows forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. The breathing out of true words gives knowledge of righteousness, but a false witness gives out deceit. You can believe a man who usually speaks true words, but you cannot believe a man who speaks lies. The truth teller speaks what is right, but the false witness speaks what is deceitful. The faithful witness tells what is right, but a false witness speaks deceit. He who is truthful testifies honestly, but a false witness lies. There is that speaks like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. There are some whose uncontrolled talk is like the wounds of a sword, but the tongue of the wise makes one well again. Careless words can cut like a sharp knife, but to speak wise words can make people well. Some speak rashly like the cutting of a sword, but what the wise say promotes healing. Speaking recklessly is like the thrusts of a sword, but the words of the wise bring healing. There is one who speaks rashly like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise heals. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. True lips are certain forever, but a false tongue is only for a minute. A false word continues for only a short time, but true words continue for all time. A truthful saying is trusted forever, but the liar only for a moment. The one who tells the truth will endure forever, but the one who lies will last only for a moment. Truth's lips will be established forever, but a lying tongue is only momentary. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. Deceit is in the heart of those whose designs are evil, but for those purposing peace there is joy. Those people who are bad decide to do bad things, but those people who help other people to live without trouble will be happy. Deceit is at home in the heart of those who plan evil, but those who promote peace rejoice. Deceit is in the heart of those who plot evil, but those who promote peace have joy. Deceit is in the heart of those who plot evil, but joy comes to the promoters of peace. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. No trouble will come to upright men, but sinners will be full of evil. Nothing bad will happen to good people, but nothing but trouble will happen to bad people. No harm overwhelms the righteous, but the wicked overflow with trouble. The righteous do not encounter any harm, but the wicked are filled with calamity. No mischief shall happen to the righteous, but the wicked shall be filled with evil. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. False lips are hated by the Lord, but those whose acts are true are his delight. The Lord hates people who speak false words, but it gives him pleasure when people are fair to other people. Deceitful speech is reprehensible to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. The Lord abhors a person who lies, but those who deal truthfully are his delight. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who do the truth are his delight. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims foolishness. A sharp man keeps back his knowledge, but the heart of foolish men makes clear their foolish thoughts. Wise men keep quiet about what they know, but fools shout out silly words. A prudent man keeps what he knows to himself, but the hearts of fools shout forth their foolishness. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims foolishness. The shrewd person conceals knowledge, but foolish people publicize folly. A prudent man keeps his knowledge, but the hearts of fools proclaim foolishness. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. The hand of the ready worker will have authority, but he who is slow in his work will be put to forced work. Much work will give you power, but if you are lazy, you will become a servant. The diligent will take control, but the lazy will be put to forced labor. The diligent person will rule, but the slothful will become a slave. The hands of the diligent ones shall rule, but laziness ends in slave labor. Heaviness in the heart of man makes it stoop, but a good word makes it glad. Care in the heart of a man makes it weighted down, but a good word makes it glad. If you are afraid, you will not be happy, but kind words will make you happy. A person's anxiety weighs down his heart, but an appropriate word is encouraging. Heaviness in the heart of man makes it stoop, but a good word makes it glad. Anxiety in a person's heart weighs him down, but an encouraging word brings him joy. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs it down, but a kind word makes it glad. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them. The upright man is a guide to his neighbor, but the way of evildoers is a cause of error to them. A good man is like a guide to his friend, but bad people are like someone who has gone on to the wrong path. The righteous person is cautious with respect to his neighbor, but the lifestyle of the wicked leads them astray. The righteous person is cautious in his friendship, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. A righteous person is cautious in friendship, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. The slothful man roasts not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. He who is slow in his work does not go in search of food, but the ready worker gets much wealth. The lazy man does not cook the animals that he caught, but another man works well. His good things are very important to him. The lazy person does not roast what he has hunted, but diligence is one's most important possession. The lazy person does not roast his prey, but personal possessions are precious to the diligent. The slothful man doesn't roast his game, but the possessions of diligent men are prized. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. In the road of righteousness is life, but the way of the evildoer goes to death. Good men are like men who follow the road to life. Along that path there is no death. In the pathway to righteousness there is life, and in that lifestyle there is no death. In the path of righteousness there is life, but another path leads to death. In the way of righteousness is life. In its path there is no death.